Lines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, serving Guam for 80 years. Matson and the Adahi Itano program. Cars Plus reminds you to put your phone down while driving. Distractions won't get you there. Heads Up Guam, IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it. And steaks, ribs, seafood, and our famous fresh garden bar, Ruby Tuesday. Good times you can taste.
Coming up on Primetime, Parole Board nominee Franklin Leon Guerrero goes before the legislature hoping to fill the last seat. Plus, a development project in Tumon has been fined by the Department of Labor. And from up north in the CNMI, the governor implements a 72-hour work schedule for departments and agencies under the executive branch.
Hafaday and good evening. The new nominee to the embattled parole board went through his confirmation hearing today. He was picked by the governor to help shore up a board that's come under the fire since the arrest of a parolee and convicted child rapist for the April kidnap and sexual assault of a 10-year-old girl. Nestor Lecanto reports.
If confirmed, Parole Board nominee Franklin Leon Guerrero will fill the fifth and final seat of outgoing chair Michelle Taitano. He joins at a time when the board's been under heavy criticism after the arrest of convicted child rapist and parolee 53-year-old Paul Santos Mofnes Jr. Mofnes is charged with luring a 10-year-old girl into his car in April and sexually assaulting her at gunpoint in an empty parking lot. According to court documents, Mofnes admitted he has an addiction to sexually assaulting young girls that he is unable to control. Leon Guerrero did not address the Mofnes case specifically, but pledged to be fair and balanced.
How can the board do its job if it doesn't have all the information it needs to make a rational decision? I heard the cry of the community and, you know, the victims' rights. You have to take everything into consideration. There's always two sides to every story. It's the parole board's responsibility to navigate through it all and make that determination. But I feel that it's unfair to the parole board if all the information that is needed for a sound decision isn't provided. I'm not going to second guess what happened before me. I can only account for what happens from the time I get there moving forward, and to that I will be totally accountable.
Leon Guerrero is a current federal employee, a retired Air Force officer, and a graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy. For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Thanks, Nestor. The troubled Tsubaki Tower project receives another fine, this time from the Department of Labor. Chris Barnett has more.
According to documents from the Department of Labor obtained by KUAM News by way of Freedom of Information Act request, the agency, acting on a tip and conducting an inspection of the Tsubaki Tower site in October of 2018. Labor investigators on the lookout for Roland Quicho. After Quicho was found on the 4th floor of the project, he told inspectors his green card was in his bag downstairs. But on the way down, Quicho also told inspectors he didn't actually have a green card and that he was in Guam illegally. His status was confirmed by Immigration and Customs Enforcement, who took Quicho into custody for immigration violations 2 hours later. Quicho telling inspectors he was employed by Intertech Builders and that he was paid in cash every 2 weeks. Intertech fined $1,000 by the Department of Labor for illegal worker violations. This was Intertech's second violation involving illegal workers. According to DOL docs, Intertech also fined $1,000 in 2017 for employing illegal worker Antonio Clet. Clet, a former H-2B worker who was supposed to leave Guam in 2010 but didn't. He was arrested by ICE after a 2017 DOL inspection found Clet had been working for Intertech, who was a subcontractor for the Hyatt Hotel. As you may recall, the Philippines removed from the H-2B visa program in January after Homeland Security and the State Department determined the PI has a high overstay rate. A majority of Guam's construction industry foreign laborers are recruited from the Philippines. The Tsubaki Tower project, an expansion of the Nico Hotel, also facing a $130,000 fine from U.S. EPA and actions from local EPA as well for violations of the Clean Water Act. For Guam's News Network, Chris Barnett reports.
The Department of Labor also slapped Pacific Laundry with a fine for not complying with Fair Employment Practices Division regulations. According to documents from DOL obtained by KUAM, through a Freedom of Information Act request, an on-site inspection of Pacific Laundry was conducted by DOL as part of an ongoing case discrimination investigation. DOL inspectors noticed there were no Fair Chances Hiring Process Act signage posting as required by federal law. During a previous fact-finding conference for the said investigation, Pacific Laundry was given posters and brochures to post, but the company failed to do so. Pacific Laundry was fined $250 in order to attend a Fair Employment Practices Division labor clinic within 6 months. Magahaga Lulian Guerrero released her monthly address to the people of Guam, focusing on the financial stability of our island. Right before taking office in January, Leon Guerrero and Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio were briefed on what they could expect of the government and realized in order to increase the chance of success, they would need a proper plan. One of the challenges the administration faced early on was paying out prior year returns that had to be processed first. By law, they're required to square away prior year returns before 2018 refunds can begin.
The good news is we have caught up and we are now releasing 2018 refunds as quickly as possible. At our Guam Police Department, Chief Ignacio has restructured some areas of GPD's operations. The result? More patrol officers on our streets and a reduction in overtime costs. Through responsible cash management, we were also able to fulfill the promise to return $3.8 million into the E911 account.
She adds this is why they must plan for the long term and take the necessary steps to stabilize, find the root cause, and plan. You can watch the address in its entirety on our website. Sedfri Linsangan firing back. Linsangan is asking the District Court of Guam to overturn Guam's marijuana law that makes it legal for adults to smoke recreationally. The AG's office last week filed a motion arguing that he lacked standing and that the Controlled Substances Act allows states, including Guam, to pass laws related to marijuana so long as they do not create a positive conflict with federal law. Linsangan, in his response, argues the local law does have a conflict and that, in fact, federal law preempts state or Guam law on marijuana legalization. Back from a visit to Hawaii, the Guam Housing and Urban Renewal Authority is taking what they learned there and applying here to help our homeless. Julia Santos reports.
At the request of Hawaii's Lieutenant Governor Josh Green, our Lieutenant Governor Tenorio and GURA Executive Director Ray Tapasnia visited the Rainbow State on matters involving housing and homelessness. The purpose of the visit was to establish a collaborative effort between GURA, the Governor's Office, and the state of Hawaii by addressing the fact that both our islands have a large percentage of homeless from the freely associated states of Micronesia, or KUAM migrants. Tapasnia says Lieutenant Governor Green shared his 10-point plan to address Hawaii's homeless, and that includes lift zones, transitional shelters, medical treatment, joint outreach centers, and permanent housing. The executive director says also that Green has a unique perspective on homelessness with respect to housing.
Housing is healthcare. What his approach to the federal government, to HUD and to CMS, is basically you save a lot more money if you invest in housing as opposed to the amount of money they're spending on healthcare, and I think that would be applicable here on Guam as well.
Tapasnia says a lot of KUAM migrants end up at the GMH emergency room and at public health. Hawaii Lieutenant Governor Green's plan included requesting funding from the Centers for Medicaid and Medicare Services to fund some of their housing programs. The director believes Guam may be able to acquire similar funding. One of the housing sites they toured is the Kahawiki Village, a public-private partnership affordable housing community for homeless families. According to the village website, kahawiki.org, a two-bedroom unit is about $900 per month, which includes electricity, gas stove, water, internet service, and cable TV. A one-bedroom unit goes for about $750 per month, including the same amenities. Another housing initiative Hawaii is taking addresses the large percentage of homeless individuals with mental illness.
They're building them so that they can house them on a more permanent basis as opposed to transitional shelters. And once they're able to do that, then they're able to bring in all the social services, the medical services into that one area.
In 2018, Hawaii recorded 6,530 homeless, or 46 in 10,000. Washington, D.C. was highest per capita at 6,904, or 99 in 10,000. New York also recorded 46 in 10,000. This is according to the State of Homelessness report from the National Alliance to End Homelessness. GURA Executive Director Ray Tapasnia says Guam's homeless numbers for 2018 were at 854, or 51 in 10,000, putting our per capita ranking at second in the nation. In 2019, the homeless count in Guam saw a slight increase to 874 persons, or about 53 in 10,000. Per capita, our numbers in 2019 still put us in second highest in the nation. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Julius Santos.
Meanwhile, in tonight's episode of Cruising with KUAM, Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio talks about the island's homeless problem as well as illegal dumping. He also talks about his recent trip to New York.
The mission there was to market Guam, to kind of let them know about how progressive our people are. And the evidence is, of course, the election of Governor Liu and myself, and first openly gay lieutenant governor in the country.
The Lieutenant Governor also discussed plans for the future of the island's public sector and the upcoming 75th Liberation Day festivities. Watch Cruising with KUAM immediately following the newscast. You can also watch it on the KUAM News Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel. A wandering cat caused Saturday night's power outage in Tumon and surrounding areas. GPA says the lone feline came into contact with equipment at the heavy power load Tumon substation just before 9 p.m. That caused a fault, which then tripped off the Cabras 2 baseload generator and the Machechi unit. GPA says the MEC9 unit then experienced a high temperature rupture, cutting its production in half. Power was restored when standby generators were brought online. Stay tuned. We are back with more news after the break.
There are more ways to experience Guam via KUAM News, giving you what you want, when you want, and how you want it. From smart devices, Alexa, what's in the news?
Here's your flash briefing.
Over the web, on mobile, on streaming platforms, with immersive, interactive formats, and via social media where it's more than just content, it's conversation. More ways to keep you informed and entertained whenever you want it, wherever you are, on whatever device you're using.
We value relationships because when we commit,
I love you guys until you're 80, until you're 90, until you're 100, forever.
We are in it for the long run, so you can enjoy the moments that matter. Because when we commit to relationships, we never stop caring. Calvo's Select Care, health care that is always there for you.
This would be awkward if you were sharing these nachos with anyone but yourself. Nachos are now a meal with your choice of double the seasoned beef or slow-cooked shredded chicken plus a medium drink. The Grande Nachos Box, only at Taco Bell.
The next generation Galaxy has arrived. See it and believe it. The Infinity O displays the most innovative Galaxy screen yet. Capture the wider world. Take stunning photos with a 123-degree field of vision. Use your phone to charge other wireless charging devices. Don't just stand out, stand apart.
Welcome back to Regional Headlines. Here's KSPN 2 News.
Hafa-Day Guam, here are the top headlines for CNMI. Under Governor Ralph Torres' directive, a 72-hour work schedule will be implemented for departments and agencies under the executive branch, starting with the pay period of June 23, 2019.
We saw the numbers presented to us by the Office of Management and Budget and the Department of Finance. Current budget projections show us that we would run out of money in August of 2019.
$9.7 million is needed to cover the remainder of the fiscal year in order to remain at an 80-hour work schedule, which the CNMI does not have. Agencies that will be affected by this will be...
In terms of agencies that are affected, it's the entire executive branch that is not an autonomous agency. So we're talking every single line department, such as the Department of Commerce, Department of Finance, the Department of Fire and Emergency Medical Services, the Department of Public Safety. We can try and go down the line. I'm trying to think about departments, but then this also includes line offices within the Office of the Governor, such as the Bureau of Environmental Coastal Quality, BECQ, our Homeland Security and Emergency Management Office, and every single executive branch department and agency that has a critical government function.
The 72-hour work schedule is projected to run through the end of the fiscal year of September 30th, 2019, where around 4,000 employees will be affected. And the reason for this cut of 8 hours per week is?
If you want the most general answer about that, it's really Super Typhoon U2.
After the typhoon hit back in October, tourism was at a standstill for 2 months, bringing the economy to a standstill as well.
From October 25th to about mid-December, there was absolutely no tourism industry to speak of. Airports were shut down. Critical infrastructure was abysmal at best, and at the same time, businesses were not finding a footing in order to not only attract tourists, but also at the same time generate revenue as a whole with any type of business activity, since most families and residents were still at home recovering from the storm. So that 2-month period of essentially zero economic activity really brought our budget projections to a level where it hasn't been seen in ages.
Bautista says this 72-hour work schedule is the best option Governor Ralph Torres could see working until the next fiscal year starts, which will be October 1st, 2019.
This was the most painless decision or option that the governor made over several other more drastic options. So scenario one would be if we were to keep it at 80 hours through the remainder of the fiscal year, that's about $3 million per pay period for the seat of my government, with no reduction in hours, no freeze on overtime. That would essentially have us run out of cash by about August, by the pay period of August 4th through August 17th, which is the middle of August. We would run out, and we'd have a budget shortfall to cover about 3.3 pay periods. Another scenario would be scenario two, which was the 64-hour cut. A lot of people in our community remember those dark days where we had a 16-hour cut, and it was a 64-hour work schedule back in the early 2010s, and that would still not take us. That would still leave us with about 1.8 pay periods to cover with the shortfall, and take us only to about the middle of September.
For the chosen option of cutting down to 72 hours, a 30-day notice is required to be given to all those affected in the form of a formal letter issued by agency heads and concurrences from the Attorney General and Director of Personnel, which Bautista says will be given Monday, allowing for the agencies to be closed every payday Friday starting July 5th. But many wonder why now?
And then we learned eventually that we just do not have the cash right now sustainably to keep that to keep the $3.3 million needed for a pay period for about the 3,000, 4,000 government employees that we have under the Central. So that's exactly where we are now, and it shows that we're trying to be as proactive as we can be to get us through the end of the fiscal year, and then eventually when we get a new budget authority for fiscal year 2020, we then look at our cash flow from there.
Additional austerity measures under the governor's directive include no accrual and payment of overtime or competency time, no new hiring for locally funded positions until further notice. KSPN asked to speak with Governor Torres on his decision to implement the 72-hour work schedule, but was provided that Governor Torres is on island but won't be available to speak on the subject today. Reporting for KSPN2, I'm Ashley McDowell. For more news, visit SaipanTV.com. For KSPN2, I'm Ashley McDowell.
Back to news here at home. 20-year-old Daisang De Leon Guerrero has been arrested and charged for a rash of burglaries and car thefts that occurred over the last 7 months. Through forensic evidence, police were able to link him to several of the following crimes. On October 13th of last year, he's accused of stealing a 2010 Lincoln Town Car from a home in Tamuning. November 30th of last year, burglarizing a home in Tamuning and breaking into a 2012 Lexus. Then on April 13th of this year, stealing a 2013 red Lexus from the parking lot of a condominium complex in Dededo. On April 22nd, burglarizing Ghana Mart in Tamuning. On May 13th, stealing a 2015 Kia Optima from a home also in Tamuning. De Leon Guerrero was charged with multiple counts of burglary, burglary to a vehicle, criminal trespass, theft by receiving stolen property, and theft. Mark Anthony Tydinko Rasmussen, 27 years old, was arrested after a man accused him of filming him while using a Dededo store restroom. The victim told police he was in the bathroom stall when he looked up and saw a hand holding a black cell phone. He then took the phone and saw recorded footage of himself using the bathroom. The victim confronted Rasmussen and turned the phone into the store manager. Court documents state he admitted to recording the victim because he was curious of the sounds coming from the stall and wanted to check on it. He was charged with invasion of privacy as a third-degree felony and invasion of privacy as a misdemeanor. The popular Island Girl Coffee and Quenchers location in Barrigada was burglarized. After business hours on May 30th, the store was forcefully entered with the store's safe stolen along with register receipts and cash. In all, about $1,400 was stolen. Neighboring residents and an on-duty security guard from a nearby business said they repeatedly heard a loud banging sound as the culprit attempted to crack open the secured safe on the premises. Co-owner Richard Hawes and GM Shaylin Allen says they fully secured the store for the safety of customers and employees, but need the community's help to catch the criminal.
The sad part was it was just, we were doing so well, it's a new location, the girls are excited, and then this happens. So, you know, it's just a difficult situation.
To have somebody break in and invade that space and make them feel violated has really been the biggest disappointment. Yes, losing the cash that we lost is heartbreaking, but at the same time, the sense of security, you can't get that back.
If you have any information about this crime, you're asked to report it on the Guam Crime Stoppers website. Vincent Napsty has been hired as the new chief of the airport police. He was selected from a field of 6 candidates. Napsty previously served as an airport police officer for 2 years, beginning in 1991. He has almost 30 years of law enforcement experience, having served as the deputy marshal with the Judiciary of Guam and served as a special agent in the Guam Police Department's Special Investigations Section, or Narcotics Unit, as part of their reserves program. In 2000, he joined the Guam Community College Training Academy as a cadre instructor and currently serves as an adjunct professor in GCC's Criminal Justice Program. His first day on the job is next Monday. June's been declared Typhoon Preparedness Month. The governor signed the proclamation today, kicking off a series of activities to help spread the knowledge about how to get ready for a storm. Chip Gard of the National Weather Service explains the tropical storm outlook for Guam for the rest of the year.
Most climate forecast centers are predicting a continuation of the current El Nino conditions through the fall of 2019. Since we are experiencing a post-El Nino drought right now from the 2018 El Nino, we don't expect much early season activity, but we do expect a concentration of activity in October, November, December months. Some activity could occur in July, August, and September, but most should be later.
Gard says based on the assessment, it's likely Guam will be impacted by 1 or more severe tropical storms and have 1 or 2 typhoons. He says with the prevailing El Nino conditions, there is a greater chance of being affected by a major typhoon. On Sunday, over 35 volunteers took part in Kanai Comunidad. A road in the Laddie Heights area was found to be littered with trash and white goods. According to event coordinator Anthony Tornito, about 125 bags of trash was collected. Also taking part in the cleanup were the Eco Warriors, who noted that 6 bags of plastic bottles, 2 bags of aluminum cans, and a half bag of glass were collected. Stay tuned. Sports is coming up next.
Make every day a plus.
What if you could drive your way to the most secluded beaches, energetic cities, or dramatic landscapes? Or eat your way to ancient civilizations, romantic hideaways, or the world's most hashtagged destinations? Now you can. Earn double miles on gas and groceries with the all-new United Credit Card from First Hawaiian Bank and receive 30,000 bonus miles. Gas, groceries, getaway. Apply now at fhb.com/united.
MTO, professional janitorial services with a warm hospitality touch. MTO gives that gift year-round. Pressure wash roofs, pressure wash driveways, lawn service, home cleaning, carpet restoration, office cleaning, commercial window cleaning, floor care. When cleaning is in order, MTO has you covered. Call 647-6861 to inquire on how you can receive the maintenance you deserve.
MTO, celebrating 30 years with you, Guam.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. On the way, GHRA Basketball League playoffs, along with some footage from the Miles in Paradise event. But first off, some good news. Another high school athlete going to be playing sports at the next level. Check it out. Mia St. Nicholas signed her letter of intent to play college basketball for Wenatchee Valley College, located in Washington State. Mia's signing was held this morning at the Guam National Basketball Training Center in Teason. She leaves Island in September to start her college career for the Lady Knights in the Northwest Athletic Conference.
Oh, I'm very excited. You know, this is always something I've dreamed of, and I've worked hard for this, and I'm just really excited to be able to play at the next level. I'm looking forward to improving and to get to know myself more as I play at the college level. I would like to thank my family, my friends, all of my coaches, and anyone that has ever helped me to get to this level.
GHRA Basketball League playoffs from the losers bracket. PIC taking on Mickey Taxi. Gail Santos knocks down the corner jumper for Mickey Taxi. Alik Palik with the assist to Sydney Toledo. Off the inbound play, Toledo with the turnaround shot. Santos avoids turning the ball over here and hits teammate Ryan Comia down low. Comia wide open, goes window for the easy 2 points. 22 points for Mickey's big man. PIC with the steal. J-Sam Medeas with the bounce pass to Jimmy Palik with the bank shot. Palik would turn it up in the second half. PIC led 54-50 with 3:29 left in regulation. Their outside shooting kept them ahead as Mickey Taxi's defense was unable to close out the perimeter. Jimmy Palik hits from the outside again. Mickey Taxi forced to foul as time ticked off the clock, sending PIC to the free throw line. Jimmy Palik with 21 points as PIC held on for the win, 67-58. As a team, PIC hit 11 three-point shots in the W. Hats off to everyone who took part in the Paradise Fitness Miles in Paradise event over the weekend at the Agana location. Runners were broken up by start times and timed by age groups. This was the island's first indoor 5K promoting heart health and fighting cardiovascular disease. The gym's motto, exercise is medicine. First overall male finisher was Elias Tysapik with a time of 21:59. First overall female finisher was Rhea Macaluso with a time of 24:20.
The phone you want now on the best network and a plan that gives you endless data on chat, social, and music apps. Tell your Docomo Pacific rep you want now with access. Docomo Pacific, better together. Some conditions apply.
Introducing Triple J's Online Shopper, the new, faster, easier way to purchase your next vehicle. Explore hundreds of new and used vehicles in full 360-degree view. Get pre-approved instantly from the comfort of your home or office. Personalize your own finance terms and get top market value on your trade-in in just a few quick, easy steps. Buy with confidence from start to signature, and we'll even go the extra mile to deliver your vehicle to your home or office. Have a question? Our sales team is just a chat away for instant assistance. Click, pick, drive. Complete the entire car buying process with Triple J's Online Shopper and purchase your next vehicle at triplejguam.com today.
Can I just get a right back?
Before we close out the news, here's your latest round of birthday shout-outs.
All right, everybody, let's say happy birthday to Kaylia Gabrielle. Happy sweet 16 to this wonderful princess. Love all of your family. Also, happy birthday to Ezra Kai Regis. Happy birthday number 2 to our little man. We love you to the moon and back. May you have a fun day from Grandma Jen and Papa Frank. And also on this wonderful day, we wish Martin Gogui the best life has to offer. Happy 34th birthday, Martin, from Joseph and the entire family.
You can be a part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online at KUAM.com. And that's going to do it for us here on News, but stay tuned. Cruising with KUAM is on deck next.